Welcome to Fantasy Fluent. Do you want to win your fantasy football league? This is the place to come. Subscribe right there. Set the reminder so you never miss an episode. We're answering all your questions, and we're starting right now with the producer, Mike DeFran. Mike, how you doing, man?
I've been better. I'm kind of 0-6 in fantasy in one of my leagues.
Oh,
So
you're not
yeah,
taking my advice.
I've been trying to, but these injuries, they're killing me right now, man. Killing me. I got Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, all of them on the bench right now. David Montgomery injured. It's rough. It's rough right now. But Khalil Herbert's my running back one at the moment. So you know what? We'll be better.
Did you pick up Dernis Johnson?
I did.
I hope you started him.
I'm happy so far. Yeah, I had no choice to start him so far.
Oh, good.
But, yeah.
Sometimes it's those ones that work out the best when you have no choices. Yeah, I got to start him.
As soon as Damian Williams went on COVID list, I picked up Khalil Herbert, and he did pretty good. So
yeah,
you know what? We're doing good. But I have a gripe with this guy that I'm going to ask you. Question number one. He's been on my team all year. I had high hopes for him, and he's been flat out awful. He's been awful. And I got to say really quick before I give you who this guy is, he's wide receiver. And Trayvon Diggs of the Cowboys, who's a cornerback, has one less catch and has one more touchdown than this guy right here. I'm talking about Brandon Aiyuk, who I don't know where Brandon Aiyuk has been. Clearly, it's not at the stadium during the games. So do I drop him? What do I do with Brandon Aiyuk?
I just want to repeat that stat. So Trayvon Diggs, who's a cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, has one more reception and one more touchdown.
One less reception.
One less reception and one more touchdown?
Yes.
Than your wide receiver.
Then
Brandon Aiyuk. I did not know that. So I love that stat. That's actually amazing.
I do not like
it. So here's the thing. He has been very disappointing this year. However, you got two options here. You've gone with them this long. The 49ers have come out this week and said they're going to make a conscious effort to get him the ball more this week. So I would say don't cut bait just yet. I would say see how he does. I wouldn't start him just because they said they're going to do it. I wouldn't start him, but I would see what happens this week. If it's the same that's been happening all year, then you got a decision to make to cut him, release him, drop him, trade him if you can, or stash him and hope that eventually they start getting in the ball. Because after what happened last season, you would have thought that he was the guy he was going to get, right? We were all predicting him to have a bigger year than obviously he's having. So I would say see this week. If you gun to my head, I'd say after this week, once you see what he does, drop him. I think he's going to be a drop. Anytime a team says, "Oh, we're going to make a conscious effort to get him the ball more," that's like them telling him we have all the faith in the world in our coach. It's like 2 weeks later, the coach is fired.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put a lot of weight into them saying that. Unfortunately,
I think I took Brandon Aiyuk in the 4th round. I think so. That just killed me.
Yeah,
absolutely killing me right now.
That's going to hurt.
Something that I guess doesn't hurt. Well, something that hurts for me even more. I didn't take this guy when I had the number 2 overall pick. How incredible is Derrick Henry? Just actually, how incredible is he?
This is how incredible he is. Forget fantasy for a second. He has more. Okay, so he's the number 1 rusher in the league. We know that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Nick Chubb. Okay.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry has more yards after contact than Nick Chubb has.
Oh my gosh.
That's how incredible he is. I predicted this week he was going to flirt, not necessarily hit, but flirt with 200 yards.
He got 75 on 1 carry.
He's going to flirt with 200 yards this season. He has been phenomenal. Again, I go back. I know I said this last week. I kind of said to everybody, everyone's going CMC 1, Cook 2. And I said, don't be surprised if you're not thinking maybe Kamara and Derrick Henry are the guys that you should have gone with. Yeah. And Derrick Henry, more so than Kamara, has been just a complete beast.
Yeah, I made the mistake of taking Dalvin Cook over him because I said, he's a better receiver. He can, get the ball thrown to him a little bit more. But I just forgot that Derrick Henry wasn't a human being and he just eats tacklers like, their breakfast burritos. So,
Listen, everyone says, excuse me, everyone says you got to go heavy in running backs, and you do. However, you also have to put weight. You also have to weight it on the backs that are kind of the workhorse back, right? So when I look at like Chubb and Kareem Hunt, it's not to say that I don't value Nick Chubb. It's that I know he's not going to get as many carries, as many opportunities at the goal line in receiving situations, right? Because that's going to go to Kareem Hunt.
right.
So anytime you have a situation like that, right? Now, granted, there's only a few, but I think you take those 3-4 workhorse backs and you bump them up the list significantly because they're going to get the opportunities, right? Derrick Henry, I think, ran for what do you have, like 6 attempts in the first half or something? Like he didn't have. And then what happened? They wear down the defense and they're committed. The Titans understand they're going to go as he goes, and they're committed to that run. And once the second half hits and those defensive players start to breathe a little bit heavy, he just takes off, and he's like a cannonball.
That's exactly what happened in the Seattle game. I think they held him to like 40 yards at half, and I was feeling good. And then he had 120 in the rest of the game, and just completely wore us down. So
that's what he is.
Yeah, very much wish I took him number 2, but it could be worse. I could have had number 1 and taken Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So what?
It's interesting. I've said to a lot of people, I don't know that I want the first or second pick because it rarely ever pans out. And I think I told you this year I picked 11th. I'm very happy with my team.
Yeah,
like with the 11th pick, I have who do I have? I've got guys like Patrick Mahomes, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm trying to think. Chris Godwin. Like I've got more. I can't remember everybody on the team where I picked 11th, but it's a solid team. Like what am I? I think I want to say I'm 4-2. Now, granted, I play in 7 different leagues, so that's probably why I'm confusing a lot of my players. But like I got Josh Jacobs in I think round 5, round 6.
Wow,
he's a nice flex every once in a while. You know what I mean? So it's those types of things. The only place I don't want to pick is kind of in the middle, like in a 12 team to pick 6th. I'm not a fan of that, but
yeah, no, picking number 2 did not do me good. I will say in one of my leagues. Last question for you is about Dawson Knox, who I think this year has really come on as one of the better tight ends in the league. I mean, he's catching passes, he's catching bombs from Josh Allen, he's throwing passes now. I mean, so what are kind of your thoughts on Dawson Knox?
Anytime you can get a tight end on the waiver wire, which I did.
You got Dawson Knox on the waiver wire?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I think week 1 or week 2, because I never pick. So my strategy, and I've said this to you before. Unless I see a value quarterback, like when I say value, I mean like a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, like slip, into the 4th, 5th, 6th round. I typically don't take quarterbacks until really late because the top quarterback versus the number 12 quarterback, there's never a big like per game difference. Tight end, I value tight ends with defenses and kickers.
Yeah.
Like that's where I pick them. I focus all my energy on my running backs and my wide receivers, and it's obviously worked very well. That being said, so because I didn't do that, I think I only had one tight end on my roster. I don't even remember who it was that I drafted, but it was in the 3rd last round before I picked my kicker and my defense. And so then I saw Dawson Knox. I was like, you know what? Let me take a chance on him. So I picked him up on the waiver wire. He's the 3rd leading tight end in fantasy behind Kelsey. And I'm forgetting who's number 2.
Mark Andrews, probably.
Mark Andrews. There you go. Yes, Mark Andrews. But that's mostly because that one big, huge game.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah.
That Monday nighter. So, I'm actually surprised it's not Darren Waller, because that's who I thought was going to be. If you had asked me at the beginning of the season, I think I would have had Kelsey, Waller, Kittle is what I said. Kittle hasn't really, he's played great in terms of blocking, like real football, hasn't been great in terms of fantasy.
Right.
So Knox, I didn't rank, obviously nobody ranked him very high. So yeah, he's had a great breakout season. It's tough with tight ends. It's so tough because there's only 2 or 3 that really make an impact, which is why I don't put a lot of weight into it. But yeah, he's been definitely a nice surprise.
Yeah, and apparently he threw his pass to Josh Allen with like a messed up hand or something. They were trying to call off the play. He said, "No, I want to throw it." So I mean, he's just a dog apparently. So
there you go.
Good to see that from the Bills.
Do you have any start sits?
Yeah, I guess we could think of some start sits.
And I'll just before you start or check your notes there and see what we have for start sits. If anyone else has start sits for next week, let us know. What we do is send it to, or you can actually put it in the comments. We'll go through them. Whatever start sits you have, we'll go through, and gets posted on Friday. And so that way you can watch it through Friday, Saturday, and make your adjustments for Sunday's games. All right. What do we got?
This is a good one. I feel like this could be a really big week. We got Tyreek Hill going against the Titans, or we have DeAndre Hopkins' revenge game against the Texans.
Ooh.
Tyreek against the Titans, or D-Hop revenge game against the Texans.
So based on that, I love revenge games. So I'm always biased towards revenge games. The problem there is the guy who traded him away. My co-host on Fluent and Chill said for a bucket of extra crispy, he's not there anymore. So maybe not as much of a revenge game because Bill O'Brien's gone. But yeah, I like DeAndre Hopkins in that game. The Cardinals, I think, are going to definitely try to make a statement. They don't want to fall asleep against a one-win team. So I think they're going to push really hard against the Texans. Whereas I think in the Kansas City game, it's going to be more Travis Kelce kind of game. Mm-hmm. And because of Derrick Henry, they're going to run the ball. They're not going to give Patrick Mahomes and that offense a lot of opportunities. Don't get me wrong. They're still going to put up their points. So I'm going to go DeAndre Hopkins.
All right. Got another revenge game for you this week. 2 quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts against the Raiders, which is a revenge game, or Matthew Stafford against the Detroit Lions, the people that ruined his career for the first 10 years.
Yes, that's a double revenge game because you got Jared Goff going against his Rams and Matthew Stafford going against his old Lions team. And I'm big on Matthew Stafford. I said last week the same thing, and he had a huge game. I think he has an even bigger game this week. And I think the Rams are the type of team, again, they're going to want to make a statement. It looks like they've rallied around Matthew Stafford too as their quarterback. And when that happens, right, I think the Rams defense wants to show Goff maybe what he took in practice every single day wasn't a fluke. But also I think Matthew Stafford is really going to want to stick it to the Lions. And I think his teammates know that. And so I think they have a huge game.
Definitely agree. All right. Last one I got for you. We're going to talk about some defenses here. And I know you're not big on defenses.
Okay.
But are we taking the Ravens defense against the Bengals, or are you taking the Patriots defense against the Jets?
Oh, Patriots defense against the Jets. I tried to pick them up myself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, someone had a better waiver claim than I did and took the Patriots. And now I'm actually kind of stuck because I stream my defenses. And I'm in a tough situation, to be honest, with my defense. I might just put a team that's on the bye and take my 0 and move forward. But listen, just look at what Bill Belichick does to rookie quarterbacks. He destroys them. Then you put him in a bad offense on a bad team with, just a bad organization. This is going to be hell for the Jets this week.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. He's going to get eaten alive.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Zach Wilson's going to wish he didn't get drafted by the Jets. I'll tell you that much. And it's too bad because it's not necessarily his fault. Right. Yeah. Listen, every quarterback that goes to the Jets somehow is a bust. No, it's not. Like at some point, it's not you, it's me. If I'm the Jets organization, they need to come to that realization.
Right. Nope. That's all I got for you. We talked about, some running backs, some tight ends, some starting sits. The tragic case of me taking Dalvin Cook over Derrick Henry. That's all I got for you this week.
All right, man. Thank you so much, everybody. Fantasy Fluent is here every week to help you win your fantasy league. Don't forget to subscribe, set your reminders so you never miss a beat, and send us your questions. Until next week, be fluent.
Hey.